With the first pick in the
2025
WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select
Welcome back, y'all. What's happening out there in WBB land? We are back with another video, and we got the WNBA Mock Draft 2.0 on deck for y'all, which will be airing live on ESPN next Monday, April 14th, from the Big Apple, New York City. Now, a lot has changed since my first mock draft, most notably the news that Olivia Miles would be foregoing her entry in the WNBA in order to return to college. This decision will clearly shake up the lottery, not to mention the overall strength of this class. I've been on record for many months now in my belief that this is a down year. I do not think from top to bottom this is a particularly strong class, especially when you contrast it to the 2024 crop. Since Mock 1.0, we have also seen 7 teams trade out of their first round picks, which should also be a clear indication that the talent in 2025 might not be up to snuff. Now, this is not to say there aren't studs hidden within this class. There are. But the overall quality and depth I put on the players outside of, let's say, the 6 to top 8 picks are much lower than in recent years, with maybe the exception of 2021. But without further ado, the Dallas Wings are on the clock. With the first pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Paige Bueckers out of the University of Connecticut. This should go as no surprise to anyone with the pulse. Paige Bueckers, the unanimous #1 draft pick out of Connecticut, a newly minted champion, 3-level scorer, do-everything guard, scores, plays defense, passes, leads. She is going to be an instant impact player. I suspect her to come into Dallas and play meaningful minutes from Jump Street, a no doubt lock, future All-Star. With the second overall pick, the Seattle Storm select guard Sonia Citron out of the University of Notre Dame. Now, many projections have the Storm selecting the French big Dominique Malonga in this spot, but I think Seattle opts for shooting in this selection to help aid a sub 30% shooting team from a year ago that also lost their 2 most capable long-distance shooters in Jewel Lloyd and Sammy Wickham. I believe the GM and coach are in a make-or-break season, so I foresee them going for what helps the team in the immediate future rather than drafting for long-term stability and upside. If it were me, I would also take Malonga, but I see Seattle going with Citron out of Notre Dame. With the third pick, the Washington Mystics select Dominique Malonga, center out of France. I said it in November, and it's probably more true today. Dominique Malonga has the highest potential ceiling of any prospect in this class. The 6'6" big can literally do it all. A back-to-the-basket game, a face-up game, can knock down the three, can run in transition, and plays defense. I think anyone but Dallas would be crazy to pass on her, but as I see it, I think Washington makes the pick, which is an interesting place for her to land, seeing as Washington has many young post players, most notably a starting frontcourt of Shakira Austin and Aaliyah Edwards. I will be shocked if Dominique falls past Washington. With the fourth pick, the Washington Mystics select Aneesah Morrow, forward out of LSU. If Morrow was 6'4", I think she would have been a projected lottery pick this entire process. The 6'1" frame will leave some questions to be answered on the next level, but I think with the improvements she's made to her offensive game, the Mystics can be confident in this selection. Morrow has an uncanny and unrelenting knack for rebounds, and I can see her fitting stylistically with this young nucleus in DC. With the fifth pick, the Golden State Valkyries select Kiki Iriafen, forward, USC. I've been very high on this player since her time at Stanford, and that has not changed. I think she is the prototypical WNBA body type, long, strong, athletic. She's got the best face-up game of any big in the draft. I only see upside for her, and I think the Valkyries will be delighted to make Iriafen the franchise's first ever selection. With the 6th pick, the Washington Mystics select Aziaha James, guard, North Carolina State. For my money, the single most underrated player in this class. I love Aziaha James. I think she is a natural scorer, lefty, 3 levels, can knock down the tray, can take it to the bucket, is always moving without the basketball. I think a lot of people are sleeping on this player, and I think she goes to Washington at number 6. With the 7th pick, the Connecticut Sun select Shyanne Sellers out of the University of Maryland. The 6'2 guard has a body and player profile that will be hard to pass at 7. It's possible we see her transition to more of a positionless hybrid with her size and ability to guard multiple positions. The big question remains, however, how will her scoring translate at the next level, and can she improve her three-point shooting? In my opinion, it will have to improve in order to ensure a long WNBA career. With the 8th pick, the Connecticut Sun select forward Aisha out of Slovenia. The 19-year-old 6'4" forward is exactly what scouts look for in the new WNBA. Bigs that can stretch the floor, run in transition, and become matchup nightmares against conventional lineups. I think Sayuka's upside warrants this pick and can absolutely see Rashid Mazian adding this young piece to the future of their franchise. With the 9th pick, the Los Angeles Sparks select Hailey Van Lith, guard out of TCU. In my mock draft from 2024, I had Van Lith rated as a late 2nd to early 3rd round selection. It did not look good after the failed experiment at LSU, but the decision to stay in school and head to TCU proved to be a career resurrection. I think it's entirely possible the Sparks take the 5'9" battle-tested guard and see if that improvement can continue behind the likes of Kelsey Plum. With the 10th pick, the Chicago Sky select Georgia Amoore, guard out of the University of Kentucky. The 40+% three-point shooting point is exactly the type of offensive profile the Sky are looking for. The Aussies' 5'6" frame and defense are certainly the 2 major question marks looming at the next level. I think her shooting and shot creation makes her the best available positionally at 10. If Amoore can build a rapport with Cardoso, like she had with Kitley at Virginia Tech, I think the pick could be very positive from an offensive standpoint. With the 11th pick, the Minnesota Lynx select forward Makayla Timpson out of Florida State. If Timpson was 6'4", she might be 5 spots higher. As it stands, the athletic 6'2" forward still merits this spot for me. She has the size and physicality that Minnesota could use in the paint, but also is extremely athletic, which would enable her to get up and down the court to run in the high-flying Lynx offense. Like Morrow, she has a great nose for the ball, and with her body and motor, I think she stands to be the sleeper selection of the first round. With the 12th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select forward Saniya Rivers out of North Carolina State. The 6'1" do-it-all forward has really risen up the board for me based on her ability to play multiple positions on or off the ball. Her speed and quickness will be an asset if Dallas wants to play with pace, and there are never enough talented wings to be had in the league. She will absolutely need to improve her shooting, but entering as the 12th spot for Dallas might be a great situation to see limited time and learn for much of her first year. And there you have it, folks, the complete WNBA Now First Round Mock Draft 2.0. Clear the decks and get the popcorn ready. Monday, April 14th, 38 players will have their lifelong dreams come true when they hear their names called in New York City. Let me know in the comments, what players do you think will make the first round that didn't show up on my mock draft? And give me your biggest sleeper of the 2025 class. As always, like, share, and hey, hit that subscribe button. It's free.